Hello, everyone. My name is Kathryn. I'm a senior partner manager here at HubSpot Asia. I'm very excited to be part of the event today in collaboration with our partner, Ourgreenfish. Unfortunately, I can't be there physically, but if you have any questions, I will be available online to answer those at the end of this video presentation. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right in. So, the topic of today's presentation is the changing face of business growth. So, I'm going to share with you more about the change of consumer landscape, the need for businesses to evolve, and the approach that we use at HubSpot ourselves. In case you're not familiar with us, we are a 13-year-old company based out of Boston with now more than 56,000 customers globally. We actually started out as a marketing automation company, but now we have evolved into an all-in-one platform with a set of tools available for all of your customer-facing teams, such as marketing, sales, and service, all integrated within our CRM. Our mission has always been to help millions of businesses grow better. Okay, I will admit this is a pretty big mission, and there are so many ways for you to grow as a business, right? You can grow faster, you can grow bigger, or you can grow better. So, whenever I talk to people about this mission, their first question is how? How do you grow better? So, before I get into the how, I want us to take a look at the why. Okay, so this might seem like a pretty obvious answer. Is there anyone in the room who doesn't want to grow their business? The answer is no, right? But my point here is, do we really understand the urgency of growing our businesses in a different way and growing our business in a better way? So, like it or not, we're living in a new era of business because the technology has changed so much and it is still changing. And as a result of that, your consumers have changed too. So technology has changed the way people interact, right? So the way we interact with not just family and friends, but also with companies. We're now able to engage with brands on a one-to-one basis, and we consume content in more ways than ever before. You know, the first thing that we do when we wake up in the morning is to look at Facebook and Instagram, right? So we consume content right away once we open our eyes. And because of that, the consumers have changed as well. So, including ourselves, we expect personalization to be everywhere. We expect convenience everywhere, and we expect friction nowhere, right? So, we're pretty much becoming very demanding, and this is the same for our consumers as well. Which also means that we need to rethink how we market, how we sell, and how we service our customers, so that we are always solving for our customer and improving their experience every time they interact with our brands. So let's take a look at a couple of scenarios, all right? So in the past, it used to be good to be just findable as a business. So what I mean by this is, if you're a business, it used to be good just to have a website and be findable on Google Maps. But now you need to be better than that, right? So if I were to look for or search for the best pad thai in Bangkok, I want to be recommended the ones that are not only great, but also are closest to me. So I want convenience, right? Before, it used to be good to be helpful, to have your product catalog or pricing or reviews available for your customer on your website. But what's even better is if it is easy. So, is it easy for your customer to access these information? We need to think about whether it's easy for your customer to engage or talk to your company. All right. We are always, thinking about what do our customer need, right? And back in the days, that's that was the case, right? So gone are the days where you ask your customer what they need, because that's a reactive approach, and you're leaving too much power in their hands. So now, what's even better is if you already know who your customers are and can tell them what they need. So, as a brand, you need to be more proactive. Instead of waiting for them to tell you what they need, you should be guiding them and telling them what they need. So think about in an e-commerce store scenario, right? So, nowadays when we go shopping online, we get recommendations. Oh, you bought this pair of shoes or you bought this watch. So we thought that, this pair of, glasses would go better. Or people who bought this watch also bought this glasses, right? So these kind of, recommendations are basically, what we're talking about here. So, without a doubt, we're living in a new era of business. And this is the reason why, customers are expecting better, right? They have higher expectations of us. So, is there a better way to market? Definitely, right? Back in the days, brands would tell you what you should look at, right? Advertiser had all the control. You could be watching a TV, listening to a radio, and then an advertisement cuts in and interrupts what you were doing, right? So consumer were bombarded by ads and flyers, which are trying to sell them many different products. But this is the reality, right? This was the main way they learn about products and how they make buying decisions. But now the tables have turned and the buyers are in better control. With all these advanced technology and tools at their fingertips, they're able to find all the information that they need to make a decision on your product or your service as well, right? So they're able to make their own buying decision without our ads or without us telling them constantly what they should buy or what they should look at. Because things have changed, we also need to take a step back and think about the way we interact with our, prospects and customers, right? And really assess if they are still effective. Based on the statistics that we've gathered, it's no surprise that more than 83% of the people today skip TV ads, 91% unsubscribe from email blast, 97% never respond to direct mailers, and more people are on do not call list. And what this tells us is that people these days don't like to be interrupted, and therefore the old marketing playbook is broken. So what do we do? So in HubSpot, we believe that inbound works the best when it comes to building a long term sustainable relationship and growth for your business. So think of it as a push and pull strategy, right? So I'm not saying you have to go 100% inbound, but it has to be a mixed strategy, right? Maybe there are times when you need outbound, like maybe when you have a new product launch and you need an extra boost, right, to get more visibility. That's where you can use some outbound tactics. But if you're thinking about building a long term sustainable growth, you definitely have to have some inbound strategy as well. So if inbound is pushing people to notice you, think of inbound as a magnet, right? Pulling people towards you. So the core concept of inbound is to earn attention and not stealing it, right? To be providing value to extract value in return. Now, to attract attention, you need to be providing something that people love. So what do people love? People love content. Why? Because content can entertain, content can educate, content can inspire and inform them. And in order to execute it well, we need to remember that there has to be always a fair give and take, right? You can expect your visitor on your website to be leaving their contact information for no reason, right? So the key thing to remember is to be always adding value in order to extract value in return. So, what kind of content are we talking about here? So, just to put things in perspective, here are a couple of content types that you can think about because it comes in many shapes and forms, right? So you can be writing blog posts, it can be your website itself, it can be photos, infographics, research papers, videos, and podcasts. Depending on your audience, you would know better what your target audience loves the most, right? Presentation, ebooks. For a company like us, could be something like a software trial and tools, right? So let me give you a real life example actually. So we built this tool called Website Grader. What it does is it tells people how well they're doing with their website, all right? So is it fast enough? Is it mobile friendly? Is it working well for SEO? So this is a free service that we provide to our prospects. And all they have to do is leave their name and email address. All right. So once they do that, that's how we have a lead converted on our website, right? So if you want to check it out, go to website.grader.com. And once you fill it up, we will have a new lead. So that's how it works, right? So to kind of summarize, inbound is a method of attracting, engaging, and delighting people in order to grow a business that provides mutual value and builds trust. All right. So, in order, it's an approach to doing business that that puts your prospect and customer at the heart of everything that you do. So, to run an inbound business, you also need to think about your business less as individual departments and more as a collection of people working together towards the same goal, right? But now let's look at how most of the businesses today operate. So you must be familiar with this funnel, right? So this is how most of the businesses are operating now. This is the classic marketing and sales funnel, right? Even HubSpot, we used to use that, until very recently. But there is one major problem with this. Our customers are the output of this marketing and sales funnel, and they're just an afterthought, right? So we put in a lot of efforts into marketing and sales. We invest a lot of time and money into them. But once somebody becomes a customer, our attention is no longer on them, right? And then the customers are like, why are you shortchanging us on the support? Your product is not as great as it was advertised to be. We're not getting good support. And you're like, no, we're doing all of that, but we're investing all of our money in marketing and sales, right? So this is a very big fundamental problem, right? Because you're not capitalizing on the opportunity and not realizing the fact that your customer can be your best marketing channel. So we did a little bit of research and found that word of mouth is the single biggest source of business referral. And what this tells you and confirms once again is that your customers have an incredibly powerful voice in the success of your business. In fact, 60% of people trust what other customers say when making a buying decision, while only 35% of the people trust what company says. So think about it for a minute. Your existing customer have double the amount of power than you do. Part of it is because we moved from a world where we used to believe whatever marketer, said in the advertisement to a more transparent world where, we can anybody could make a purchase and they can reach out to anyone, right? So if you're an education business or if you're a retailer and you want to, you're considering um, buying a CRM, right? So you can reach out to another education entity or you can reach out to another retailer and be like, hey, your business is very similar to mine. How do you like this product or how do you like the CRM? Right? So people actually trust what other customers say more than what brands tell them. So, how do we tackle this issue? For us at HubSpot, once we realize that it's not really a linear process, and once we realize the importance of having happy customers, we now operate our business more in a flywheel manner. So we put our customer at the center of everything that we do, right? We obsess about customer service as much as marketing and sales. Because at the end of the day, all these departments should be working together seamlessly, and all of these things are intertwined. And if you think about the fundamentals of a flywheel spins from the momentum that you have built, right? So, it's okay to be investing in marketing and sales, but you need to also remember that the service is as important as marketing and sales. If you do great marketing, you will pull in great prospect, but that's only step one, right? So now if these prospects have an amazing experience with your sales or on your e-commerce platform, they will eventually become your customers. So that's step two, engage stage. All right. So if you delight these customers by giving them a great customer service or support, now they can go and tell more future customers, which can fuel your marketing and even help spin your flywheel faster. So that means your business will be growing much better and faster than it used to. So the first step to becoming a growth-centric business is to map out your flywheel. Know where your strengths are and know where your weaknesses are. Is it attracting people, to your website? Is it engaging and converting them? Or is it more on the service side? Is it delighting them, right? Find your weak spots. If you have a lot of visitor to your website, but your visitor to lead ratio is low, perhaps you could look at creating more conversion paths, or maybe you can look into creating more diverse types of content, right? So that you can know what type of content gives you a higher conversion rate. And as your business grows, it's humanly impossible for you to keep all of your teams aligned and maintain a good customer experience, right? And this is where the marketing automation comes in. The only way for you to continue growing and scale is through marketing automation. Now, a lot of businesses think that, oh, marketing automation is just for online businesses, and most of our business or transaction happen offline, so it's not applicable to us. And that's completely wrong. Why? Because even if your business is more offline and most of the transaction happen offline, you could still take advantage of marketing automation. So let's say a potential prospect want to research about your product on Google, end up on your website, and then convert it, right? And receive a coupon code via an email. And then you're expecting them to go down to your shop and then redeem or purchase a product with this coupon code. So a couple of days have gone by and you realize that they have not claimed it. What you can now do is you can export their email addresses to Facebook, retarget them, or send them more valuable resources to help make a decision, right? So once they purchase the product, you would then be able to attribute back to your digital campaign because you're using a unique, uh, you know, um, coupon code, right? So although the transaction happens offline, you can still leverage marketing automation to retarget, nurture them, and also attribute the revenues back to where it comes from, right? So this is just one of the example, right? So we've talked about a lot of things, and I don't want to overwhelm you. I'm happy to answer any other questions. So coming towards the end of the presentation, there are a couple of things that I want you to take away, right? So there are four key things. The first, times have changed, and so have our consumer, right? So time to go inbound. Second, the funnel is dead. Our customers are our best marketing channel, and we need to be capitalizing on that. So that's the reason why we need to adopt the flywheel model, and that's the new way to grow. At last but not least, if you're looking to grow and scale as a business, you definitely have to leverage marketing automation, even if most of your businesses happen offline. All right. So ultimately, stop thinking about your business as a funnel and start thinking about it as a flywheel, and you will start making better and different decisions. Once again, thank you very much. And I will be available for any questions that you might have. Otherwise, you can also write down all these questions and pass it to our Greenfish team, and I'll be happy to get back to you via email. All right. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.